I sort of fell into social media by mistake. And that was because COVID hit and I had to lock the shul.
Right.
And I was like, I got to talk to my people. How's this going to work? How's this new world going to be where I can't, I'm going to lose, everything I built is going to disappear.
Right.
It took me all these years to,
relationships and everything.
buy this building and fill these seats. And so I started making videos really for my community online.
Shalom, friends. Welcome to Orange Socks, a podcast celebrating Jewish creativity. I'm your host, Yitzchok Moully, inviting you to join me in exploring the soul of Jewish expression. Shalom, friends. Welcome to the Orange Socks podcast. And I'm here with a dear friend, Rabbi Avraham Rappaport, which is not the name you go by.
It's a pleasure to be here. Yes, they call me Rabbi Raps.
Rabbi Raps. So as we all know out there, yes, Rabbi Raps. And we're not in my studio. We're not in your studio. We're in an office in Lakewood, New Jersey. So that's why it's all so clean and white walls. I apologize.
We met halfway?
We met halfway, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. So I'm from Atlantic City, New Jersey. You're from, where are you from?
I live in Hillside, New Jersey.
Hillside.
Yeah.
So it's ish.
Yeah. But I've been wanting to do this for a while, so thank you for taking the time and coming on and sharing. And really, the podcast is about exploring the intersection of Judaism and creativity. So you've been creative for a long time. I remember Steenberg, right? Was that one of the first?
The first time I met you. Yes.
Yeah.
I think I was 15 and you were 17.
Something like that.
And a couple of yeshiva boys went upstate New York to make Purim.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We made a play.
We did a play. It was all the way upstate New York. At night, two of us, for some reason, at 2:00 in the morning, decided we had to go see the Niagara Falls.
Yes.
So we drove whatever it was to see Niagara Falls.
You drove that 15-passenger van.
We drove the 15-passenger
So
van.
my father,
yes,
a Chabad rabbi in Atlantic City,
right,
gave the van to the Bachram.
Right.
And for years afterwards, he always said, it never drove the same.
It's very trusting of him. I'm not surprised, but yeah.
Right.
So that's my the first time we crossed paths and my first time seeing your creativity, because doing Purim, most people just put on a Purim party and you put on a play.
So I did the magic show.
Okay.
You guys did the play.
Is that how it was? We did.
Yeah. You guys,
we had a Hanukkah play.
Oh wait, and then somehow I ended up in the play.
Of course.
Because we thought you guys had a script. And then,
we
brought the older Bachram that are organized, and you can't.
Right,
what you did is you brought all the costumes from Hanukkah.
Yes,
it was
the Hanukkah play.
It was a few hours before, and he was like, "I'll be Haman." No, I want to be Haman. And we were like, "What you?" And then somehow I ended up in the play.
Right.
Yeah, you were
not as Haman.
No, I was one of the advisors, but you guys were completely unorganized, but it was the best play I've ever seen.
It was a great play. It's interesting that yes, there is a few years of an age difference, and now it makes no difference. Right. But at the time, as a boy in yeshiva and someone, I think, I don't know, we wanted to get away. I don't know what it was that we thought, we have a Hanukkah play. We have the backdrops. I mean, how different is it really,
Right.
We did a Purim play.
And you even had a Queen Esther. I forget who it was. One of the Bachram with a big beard was Queen Esther.
Yeah, big roly-poly guy. No, you're right. That was we had a Queen Esther. Of course we had a Queen Esther.
It was a great Purim play.
It was a great Purim play.
Okay. So this is the Orange Socks podcast. So I see you have orange socks, but I kind of, I don't know.
We got work. We got...
you got to work on me.
So you wear your orange socks in a different way.
Right.
You're not your typical... You are your typical Chabad rabbi, and you're not your typical Chabad rabbi. You grew up, as you said, in Atlantic City, right?
Yes.
So your dad's a Chabad rabbi.
That's right.
And you grew up, eating this for breakfast, lunch, and supper.
I grew up Atlantic City, Shabbos table, the most colorful group of people you ever meet. You could have some Hasidim, you could have a guy with tattoos, you could have some Israeli lady with her non-Jewish husband and kids, all around the same Shabbos table.
Right.
And it was a beautiful way to see Yiddishkeit, because we, like the Rebbe always taught us, we saw the neshama in each person.
Right.
Yeah.
And you liked it enough to join the team.
Yeah. As I say, I went into the family business.
Yes.
It's a terrible business, by the way. If you're looking for businesses, there's other options
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
But meaning and fulfillment, there's nothing like being a Chabad shliach.
It's almost like you're trying to sell it as something.
Maybe someone will take me over finally.
Well, you got
No, I'm just
kids. You got
kidding.
kids. You gotta,
I'm just
you gotta
kidding.
get them
I'm
involved. Yeah.
exhausted, man, you know.
It is. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
But it's something that you chose to do. So there's, there's definitely enough meaning in it to keep on going. I mean, parenting's exhausting, but we keep on going. The next stage, I remember coming down to, once we hung out in Steenberg, we came down to Atlantic City, maybe Lag BaOmer or something.
Yeah.
And I remember you were big into video editing. That was just as digital was coming along, and you were doing, I suppose, your parents' videos for Chabad.
I took all my bar mitzvah money. I got a camcorder back then. Right. It was like,
yeah.
I used to video everything. I have everything documented. I used to love it. I went to tell stories, capture moments. So I'm a content creator now on social media, right? But I was doing it before it was a thing. Like, I look at my videos back when I was a kid, and it's like the same shtick of like documenting and interviewing everyone. I was doing for a very long time. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So I saw that, and not everyone, when digital came along, wanted to get a camera, wanted to document, wanted to tell stories, but you did, and the way you've balanced both of those. I mean, have you been content creating as part of your rabbiship from the beginning, or was there a shift and a realization?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'll tell you, there was actually, is that okay?
It is what it is.
Okay. It's background noise. Someone's davening in the next room, Okay. So there was actually a point in my shlichus that I was very inspired by you.
Oh,
because you did one of your art shows and you brought down all your art to our Chabad house, and we made a whole weekend, and we turned
kids got to go to the beach.
Yeah, we
hung out. It was nice.
We turned the Chabad house into like an art gallery, and you told, and aside from explaining all the art and all the beautiful Dvar Torahs you gave, you told your story, and it was really about the orange socks. And at that time, you were describing how you were a shliach, a youth director. But you're also a creative, you're an artist, and you were describing how, you came to the realization there's a lot of guys that could do great kids programs, but how many people could be the pop art rabbi?
Right.
And it was it was almost like a inner struggle you had. You described it that way. Like, should I leave being a shliach? And then you said, but I'm being a shliach through my art. I cut you off.
No. Yeah. I don't know when I came along that journey, but it was... Yeah, it was a huge decision that I had to make, from being a full-time official rabbi in a community to becoming a full-time artist. And it wasn't a one-day shift. There was a lot of internal struggle. So I probably did come down during those struggle years. And I don't know if maybe I said more than I should have or not, or that, it's a struggle to find your purpose in this world, know, and I think everyone struggles with that. And to find what does God want of me? What does the universe want of me? What am I contributing to this world?
I think a lot of people are trying to find their thing.
Right.
I think a lot of people feel that there's something they should be contributing, but they're not sure what, or they're not sure how, or they don't have the courage to do it.
Right.
And it would be so nice if people could find that. I'm very much an advocate of people finding their yellow socks, this orange socks. They want yellow already.
Yellow background, orange socks.
There you go. What do you think? See, I'm interviewing you now.
There we go.
What do you think is like a recipe? And I'll go back to you asked me a question, I'll go back to it. But what do you think is a person's, what's the recipe to find your orange socks?
It's a very good question.
And I'm sure the people Wow. I'm sure the people watching know what it means, but what it means is like your unique tafkid, your gift to bring to the world.
I'm not sure if it's as much as a recipe as you refer to it as a recipe.
Yeah.
Is that do follow these steps and ta-da, here's your cake.
Yeah.
Um, it's leaning into what you would do when there's not when there's nothing else to do, but when all the boxes have been checked and everything else has been taken care of, life's crazy hecticness. What would you like to do? What would you like to either? What do you actually lean towards, or what would you want to lean towards, or when you lay awake at night? And then exploring. Just exploring little things. You don't have to make a
Right.
life altering decision. You don't have to leave your job. And many would recommend not leaving your job because then it's a passion. The idea of hobby, I think, comes from the Latin word of passion. So when you do it as a hobby, you're doing it as passion. When you're doing it as a job, it's got to pay the bills. And whether passion's there or not, you got to do it. But I mean, listen, today anyone with a microphone, anyone with a phone can share, on social media, and just sharing your ramblings, out loud. Um, I don't know, can help someone find their own voice, find their tribe, find their like-minded people. Um, yeah, I
Right.
don't know.
And
Yeah,
today the algorithm will help you find them.
yeah. And today the algorithm,
People don't have to search. The algorithm knows what you're drawn to, and it'll
right,
feed it to you. If you're a person that likes, Hasidic, you like pop art, it'll
right.
find pop art for you.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you happen to be Jewish, it'll show you Hasidic pop art.
yeah. No,
Or,
I love
that's an
the
amazing
I love
thing.
the Discover page on Instagram
Yeah.
because yeah, I've discovered so many amazing artists and so many amazing processes
Right.
because yeah, it feeds you
It knows
similar things.
us more than we know ourselves, which
Yeah,
is fascinating
yeah,
because it's like it's watching how long you stay on that video for.
right,
And if you go, if you're not into accounting, you're going to go boop, right?
right.
But then if you're more of a creative, you might be like, oh yeah, and just that subtleness, it understands things about us we don't understand about ourselves, which could be dangerous as well.
Right.
But
Well, I mean, the downside is that it's a for-profit company
right,
doing all of these things, which
right,
means you are the product. If the product is free, you are the product.
right.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
but
But I'll circle
yeah,
back. You
let's
asked me a question. So as I said, I became a Chabad rabbi. I moved to Atlantic City area to help my parents. Um, at that time, I had a film company, by the way.
right. So you did.
Yeah, I did
You were doing films for others,
nonprofits, like
right?
promotionals, like all the fundraisers, all the Chabads. And part of what really happened is I was interviewing the most amazing people in the world, the shluchim, and the way they gave their lives over, and the way the people in the community spoke about them, and it like really like brought out what I already knew, that this is an amazing life. I watched my parents dedicate their life to others and the community, and to really live the Rebbe's vision of shluchas. So the more I did that, so I moved to Atlantic City actually because I needed a place to live to help my parents on the side, but it was really
Right.
a part-time thing. I had a business.
And you were married by then?
I was married,
Okay.
and I had a film company. That's what I did, and I just fell more and more into the community, and it came a point where I stopped doing video for a very long time, and I was doing all the rabbi stuff.
Right.
I taught the adult education classes. We had a camp. We had all those things. And by the way, for a creative person, shlichus, being a Chabad rabbi, specifically a Chabad rabbi,
Right.
is very fulfilling because you get to use all those,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's speaking, it's entertaining, it's creating events for people, putting together music and video, and a shliach is really
Right.
a
And
production manager in
right.
many ways.
And no 2 days are the same.
And no 2 days are the
And
same.
Rebbe encouraged people to lean into their passions,
Right.
to lean into their desires. So, yeah, shluchim, just as you said, the algorithm feeds you what you want. Is that you'll see that over time, the rabbi and the congregation, the congregants are attracted to the rabbi for his own personality, for what he brings to the table, not just it's the local Chabad, so I'll go there. Yeah, so
So that's what I was doing, and it was very fulfilling, very meaningful. I put video on the side because I was running a community, But I have to tell you, there was a part of me that wasn't being fed. And that
Right.
was real, creative stuff. Like, and also there's an internal struggle as well because I am the rabbi of the community, and I felt that there's a certain box I needed to behave in.
Right.
Okay, so if you follow my content online today, I don't think I fit into the regular rabbi box today.
Right.
And I'm proud of that
Yeah.
because I feel that's really me within my job and my space as being a community leader. But it took time to develop that. So at that point, I'm not really doing anything creative. And there was a part of me that felt a little bit empty. And I remember when you were discussing this whole thing, I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing that part. I'm not using that part of my brain as much.
Right.
And, we were doing great. Our classes were getting 70, 80 people, adult education. Like we were very successful at what we were doing. Thank God, Baruch Hashem. We had I gave a sermon. I enjoyed giving over the idea, feeling the connection with the people in the room. It was all very fulfilling, but there was something really missing. And I fell into social media content creation, which is my new identity,
Right.
Rabbi Raps on social media. I have 500,000 followers right now, which I can't even believe that I talk online and there's that many people actually following along. It's truly amazing and very humbling and exciting all at the same time. But I sort of fell into social media by mistake. And that was because COVID hit and I had to lock the shul.
Right.
And I was like, I got to talk to my people. How's this going to work? How's this new world going to be where I can't I'm going to lose, everything I built is going to disappear.
Right.
It took me all these years to
relationships and everything.
buy this building and fill these seats. And so I started making videos really for my community online.
That's really where it started.
That's how it started.
So that's it's recent.
Very recent. It was on Facebook.
Right.
And eventually, I didn't know what TikTok was. No idea. My younger sister is like, Facebook's for old people. So I went onto Instagram and I started making videos really to my community. And while I'm doing this, I'm realizing wow, I did a video and just now, 200 people watched it.
Right.
I was like, what? That took me 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I just spoke to 200 people and people are commenting and asking questions. And a light bulb went off. I said, wait, I gotta learn more about this. And then suddenly it wasn't just my community, it was other people as well. And it was COVID. I had the time and I said, I'm gonna study this. I'm gonna read about this. I'm gonna research about this. There's something here.
Right.
And I remember when I had this goal, I said, imagine I could have 5,000 followers. That was an amazing goal. And
that was the Facebook cutoff for friends.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's that's the cap.
That was the goal. And I said, if I could do that, I could really reach people. And the same effort, I'm speaking to, 20, 30, 70 people, and I could be speaking to so many more. And I really studied the algorithm. And and I was able to create a following. At that point, I didn't know I was going to be creating a community online beyond my physical community where I lived. So that's my story.
It's awesome. It's your evolving story. It's your ongoing story. It's not something that was. So you're feeding that part of your soul.
And I enjoy it very much. I love creating content. I love spreading Yiddishkeit as a Chabad shliach, and the two together is, for me personally, is very satisfying. And I have to say, for a very long time, there was something missing, and I didn't know what can I do to utilize this creative side. And it took me a little while to feel comfortable enough to speak, just let it flow on camera, because it was a little struggle. Wait, I'm the rabbi. Can I say this? Yeah. Can I say that? And it was a little bit of an exercise to figure it out, to who's my voice and how free can I be?
Yeah.
Will I be accepted? Will my community allow the rabbi to just say stuff that's not completely on the script? Will the greater community accept this? Right. And the answer is many don't, and maybe that's why I keep getting more followers. No.
Well, that's my question. I mean, there's a bunch of things that come up with that, but I mean, are there are there things that you would like to post, or ideas that you're having? No, that crossed the line. I can't do that.
I don't think so. I think generally I would say I'm genuine. Yes, in any social situation, you got to choose certain things
Yeah.
that just like you don't want to go there.
No, I'm asking
even
more from like a religious
right.
perspective, from a Chabad perspective. Is there like, okay, like that I can't say, or that I
Right.
can't.
So I don't experience that. I feel very comfortable. I speak honestly. I used to be so worried about making mistakes. And I'll
Right.
tell you, for the first 10 years, I'm a Chabad Shliach for 20 years now, right?
Yes.
19 years, something like that. So the first 10, 15 years, I had a fear of being recorded, my classes being recorded.
Right.
And my classes, listen, I'm going to
You
be,
worked on it.
I'm not going to be humble right now.
You studied the algorithm on that one too. I mean, you studied
On what?
on the classes. You knew what you were talking
Oh,
about.
I gave great class. I had a great amount of people, but I had this inner fear, like, what if I make a mistake? This
And it's
imposter syndrome. I really did.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want it to be recorded.
Right.
Like, if it was recorded, I would have to watch it 10 times. I really had that struggle, like, like, what if I say something wrong?
Right.
And now I say things wrong every single day, but it's okay.
Right. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And
One thing.
could come back and say, I said something yesterday and I was wrong.
Yeah.
And that's another great piece of content.
And that's another exactly. And one thing Gary Vee said that stuck with me, and he's got a whole lot of content, but he said just start. And maybe this is also for your advice how people can find their orange socks.
Right.
But Gary Vee said start in your garage when you have a seed of an idea. Start and put it out there, and your followers will find you. But here's the point that he makes is they will join your journey, and they will see you improve, and they will get emotionally attached to your improvement, and they will go around bragging, saying, I remember when he was in a garage without a light and without a this, and when he was just bumbling. If you wait till you're perfect and then you put yourself out as perfect, quote unquote perfect, you're just another, AI or rich kid. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You're it's like someone who, once you made it and you're perfect and you're making no mistakes, there's nothing interesting.
You're not relatable.
You're not relatable. So taking people on that journey of as you. And again, it's not about perfection. There's no, number one, there's no such thing as perfection, human perfection. But that's not what we're striving for.
Right.
We're striving to, every day get a little bit better, do a little bit more.
Yeah, it's so important to invite people to your process.
Yeah.
And this idea of perfect. Funny thing happened when I was first starting to make content. That's like a great example of what you were just saying. All right, so we decided we're going to do Havdalah live. Okay, good.
COVID time.
So my wife's a little more organized than me. The house has to look good. I'm like,
Yes.
Okay, fine, all right. So we got it all set up, and like I'm there with the Havdalah. Change your jacket. Okay, fine. We're all good. Hollywood, here we are. We're ready to go. All right, cameras on, and we're on a live. Start saying Havdalah. My two kids that are standing right next to me start fighting with each other.
Right.
I want the Havdalah cannot.
Right.
But, you're trying to stop them. And then like one pushes the other one. The other one pushes the other one. It's live. What are you going to do? And my wife is whispering in the background, like let's stop. But, you're live. You keep going. And I'm doing Havdalah. And suddenly a piece of wax, so we give it to the younger one, fine. Right. A piece of wax falls on her finger. She drops it on the table. She starts crying. The other one says, I told you. The next one jumps in and starts hugging her. Meanwhile, everything's under control, and I'm like standing there. My eyes are rolling all over the place. Okay. And then all of a sudden, I forget where I'm up to.
Right.
So I'm like freaking out. Like I know Havdalah by heart,
right.
but like
you got stuck.
You got
stopped.
Right. And I'm like, and like my oldest daughter is trying to tell me the words, and then my wife is grabbing a sitter to give it to me, and I'm laughing. My face is red. All right. It's not over. It's more fun than this. Yeah. The smoke alarm goes off. So my other daughter has a tower like this, and meanwhile the whole thing is live.
This is great.
And when it's over, we were like, we have to delete this. This is a disaster. Like, oh my gosh, this isn't like it's supposed to be about a healthy, happy family that's got it together, that everything. And you know what? it got so many views. I saved it.
Right.
I didn't tell anyone at the time. I saved it. I was like, this is interesting. Let me save it. I saved it. And like the comment section of this video just blew up. Everyone had something to say, and people loved it. People want real life.
It's real. It's real.
People want authenticity.
People now manufacture scenes like that
Right.
to get the likes and the views and the comments.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's it. It's leaning into real life.
Right. And this is what's stopping people from creating. What's stopping people from creating is I have to be perfect. Wait, when I get good enough, that's when I'll start.
Right. Exactly. So that's the point. Don't wait for good enough.
And we don't. You know what? Like the difference between malachim and human beings, right?
Angels and
angels
humans.
and humans, right? So an angel's perfect, right? So, but it's not as impressive. It's the difference between a photograph. You're the artist. Tell us.
Yeah. No, the Rebbe actually speaks about it: a photograph and a piece of art and a painting, and that the photograph is a lot closer to the one-to-one likeness of the original of the object, and a photo of that object will only be valued at X, and then a painting of that object can be valued at 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times X of that. And why? Because someone put themselves into it. So there's the fingerprint of the artist, the soul of the artist in the work, and that's what makes a difference.
And people are searching for soul now more than ever. It's funny, this AI came out, and I actually never got a chance to Sorrow. I never got a chance to jump onto the bandwagon. In the beginning, I was like, oh, I'm missing out. This is going in a whole new direction. The algorithm's always changing, and I don't have the time to learn it like I did in COVID. So I try to keep up to it, and sometimes I miss whole trends, which is fine, But Sorrow came out, I'm like, oh wow, like I'm missing this. This is the new internet. But guess what?
No, but people don't like it.
Disappeared.
It disappears.
It went down 90%. 90% from what it was,
In
viewership.
Yeah.
They got hundreds of millions of downloads.
Because it was the new thing. It was a new thing, and then all of a sudden people...
But it's fake. It's not real.
It's fake, exactly.
Right.
And part of it, I think, is also sweat equity.
Yeah.
If everyone knows that you made this with with two sentences, even if they're well-crafted sentences, where's the sweat equity? You didn't put blood, sweat, and tears into it. And people do want, equal to the authenticity part, is that they want to know that, that took effort, that took, time, that there's something, there's a value to it. And I think that's what, a painting over a photograph, that they know that it's real. That is real. That's really what it comes down to.
Right. It's a whole lesson of the Beinoni and Tanya.
Yeah.
Right. Tanya says, like, until we were learning Tanya, everyone wanted to be a tzaddik.
Right.
But to be a Beinoni is to be a real person that struggles every day, but still overcomes.
So the amazing thing, the amazing thing about the Beinoni, the intermediate person, is that they never become a tzaddik. They never become that perfect person.
Right.
It's impossible for them. It's spiritually impossible for them. We'll call it that. And yet their whole life is a struggle. So it's living the struggle, enjoying the struggle, and being one with the struggle.
And not giving up.
And not giving up.
And never giving up. And saying, I know I'm never going to be perfect, but I'm never going to succumb. I'm never going to give up.
Right.
At being better.
But every day is a new. If I screw up, tomorrow's a new day where I get to have. Maybe struggle is the wrong word. Maybe it's not. The word isn't struggle. I mean, it's just to live. But to live, to do the work, to do the best you can.
Right.
And there's no perfection that you're striving for. The perfection is being and doing in the now. I feel like it's better words. I'm struggling for words. But that's the beauty of it. Is that. Right now, I'm doing the best that I possibly could in the whole world. There isn't somewhere better that I could be doing this. I'm recording a podcast, creating, having a meaningful conversation. This is it. This is where I'm supposed to be. And actually, I remember once I was driving carpool, and there was a time before that I was very frustrated. Like, I have to drop everything that I'm doing, all this meaningful work that I'm doing, and I'm driving carpool. And at this one point, I said, like, you know what? This, right now, driving carpool, this is what I'm meant to be doing with my life. This is my purpose in this world at this moment, listening to whatever it is, whatever shiur, whatever class, whatever, friend that I'm talking to, driving carpool is what I'm supposed to be doing with my life now. and I'm doing it. I'm living my life to its fullest. And then every
That's
next
beautiful.
moment,
Right.
try that when you're driving carpool,
Yeah.
in traffic, running late
Yeah.
in the
That's
snow.
a great time to catch up on podcasts
Yes.
like the Orange Sox podcast and things like that. Yeah, but I do think that finding our orange socks is really there's no formula. Like you said, there is no formula. But I think what could bring us closer to this is where a couple things converge. Let's start with our gifts, our talents. Everyone has a gift. Everyone has a talent, right? Let's start with the neshama. There's no
Right.
one soul that's the same as another soul.
Right.
Every neshama is a unique light, a spark of the divine that came to this world, and that light hasn't been here since the beginning of time. The universe is waiting for you
Yeah, 100%.
to come and shine your light. So
Yes.
that idea, like that idea is a powerful idea to really believe it.
Right.
To really believe,
really
to
believe
teach it to our kids, to really believe it. You're not a mistake. You're not a number. You're not a statistic. You are a divine light that the universe was waiting for right now, right here to be here. So I'm here, but I feel like a loser. I'm here like I'm not doing anything. Wait, you have talents. God gave you talents. So that's one circle. I think the other circle is your experiences. Every one of us has had experiences. Some of them are great. Some of them are horrible. Some of them feel like they were, they broke us or destroyed us. But those experiences gave us perspectives that no one else has.
Yeah.
So we have talents and we have experiences. And maybe the third circle is, where am I right now? And then where those three converge, and I think the answer is different for everyone.
Right.
In there, you'll be closer to finding your tafkid.
Right.
What is your gift? What's your talent?
Right.
Where are you right now? And what happened to you?
Right.
What did you go through?
It's actually a quote that I heard on Ellie Nash's podcast, Becoming More, something more.
Great podcast. Yeah.
But someone said,
You should check out the episode with Rabbi Raps, by the way.
I listened to it. Absolutely. I've listened to, I'm pretty good on his podcast.
Okay, good.
He stopped, he started again. He has incredible content, and it's meaningful, it's depthful.
Yeah.
But what one person said is, take the worst day of you, what one person said is, take the worst day of your life and make that into the best day of your life, and use that as your purpose. So what you said, that second circle of what happens to us is, some people have gone through some trauma. People have gone through horrible things. But when they if they choose to, take that negative experience and create, live that publicly and give that to others and show how they've come through and how to live beyond that and through that, and share that with others, is
That's great. To take the worst day and make it your best
make
day.
it your best day.
But not everyone's going to feel comfortable sharing that. But that could be the fuel, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that to ever happen to anyone again.
Oh God, no.
Right?
Absolutely.
So that is enough to do something. You don't have to like necessarily be like someone that talks about a certain thing,
Right.
but you could help make sure other people don't.
Right.
You can be
No,
part
I
of
mean,
that.
an example is, in the summertime, leaving children in a car. And it's incredibly painful when it happens. The child's left behind in a car and the car gets so sweltering hot and the child doesn't survive. And there's been too many cases, but there's been parents who it's incredibly painful and they hold that pain to themselves. And there's other parents who started an awareness and a campaign and a pushing it, and their whole life is now all about making sure that no other child is left in that situation. And not to say that became their best day of their lives, but that day, that tragedy, they turned around, from darkness, into light.
Right.
Which is our Chabad mantra and cliche, and turning darkness into light. That's what I do.
Right.
That's what I do with my menorahs.
Your menorah is all about the light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're having a great conversation. I have lots to say. Yet when I get in front of a camera, like I sometimes, honestly, I don't know what to say. I want to create content. I want to share my wisdom. And again, I've put myself in a box that I'm an art rabbi. So, you know,
That's such a big box, by the way. That's no box. There's no limits. Like, that's the universe.
but what wisdom? I think, like, what wisdom in 30 seconds can I give people?
Right.
Like, how do you find your content? How do
That's a good
you
question.
choose
I can
what
talk about
your
that in a moment, but this idea is a very interesting idea. The flow. How do you find your art? And I think that's part of the answer. And I think you don't sit and say, I am going to paint something. I kind of feel like you take that brush and you sort of make a line and something happens. Am I right?
So there's two
Because
kinds of creativity. Yeah,
I'm interested in this. Yeah.
there's a lot of my work is premeditated, or I
Okay.
get an idea, and the most exciting part of the creative process is the idea. I can get drunk on an idea,
Yeah.
and then not do anything and feel fully fulfilled because I had this idea, but I didn't share it with the world. So then implementing it, it's like these menorahs, these public art menorahs. The ideas get bigger and wilder. To produce it is months or a year. But in that idea form, I've already gone to the end and I have everything. So that's all the joy, all the excitement is there, and then becomes the slog, the reality of
Carrying it
implementing it,
out.
carrying it out.
Do you feel you're
On
more
the
of a chachma
Yeah,
person,
absolutely.
an idea person, or more of a bina
Absolutely.
person?
Very much
Or
chachma
more of a bina means like to build the
to
idea, to
develop it.
develop. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the classic example is the male and female relationship in creating
Right.
a child.
Right. But for those that aren't familiar, this is all Kabbalah jargon.
Right.
Jargon.
Well, that's I'm
Yeah.
trying to make it
Yeah.
accessible.
Right.
But to answer your question, there are other times where I'll be painting a painting and I'll think I'm going here and I'll end up over here.
Right.
And it'll be beautiful and there's one piece I was struggling with it and I turned it upside down. I'm like, it's done. Literally.
That's great.
It was an abstract piece,
Yeah.
but turning, one of my teachers said, you can't turn it upside down, step away, look at it from different distances. So yeah, definitely in the moment, in the creative process, things happen as you're creating.
So I think the answer is, me personally, the worst thing I could do is sit down and write a script. For me,
Right.
it's just it could be a decent piece of content, but it needs to be a flow of not just an idea, not just words, but of energy.
Right.
And to get in front of a camera and to feel something.
Right.
And then someone else will feel something too. And sometimes the thing you do is not even so intellectually stimulating, but it represents, it's artistic. You say something, you feel something, you give over even a joke, whatever it is, but it's bigger than the joke. It's bigger than the Dvar Torah, whatever you're giving over. So me personally, I'm not a script person. I get ideas.
Do you write down ideas?
I do. I write down ideas.
You do write down ideas,
and
okay.
it's just a point.
Yeah.
And but normally, what makes it successful is bigger than the idea. It has to flow from
Right.
from neshama. It has to flow from the way you tell the story, the way you ask the question, the way you move the camera. It's all part of that creative process.
Right.
So I generally don't have videos where I'm sitting in front of a
Do you own?
well lit background.
Right.
And,
Do you own a tripod?
yeah, I do, and I have lights. I just don't use them
You don't
as
use them,
much.
okay.
I'm trying to actually, but maybe it's not a good thing.
No,
Right when you were setting up, I was like, oh, maybe I should get one of those. How much does that cost?
Yeah.
But I do have lighting and mics,
Right.
and because I did this professionally, I know.
Right.
You know.
Oh, so I can borrow your equipment.
Yeah, well, it's 20 years old, so it's not. Yeah, but I think one of the biggest problems for creatives is we get our mind gets in the way of our heart, of our soul.
Right.
And like whenever there's a deadline, we kill our creativity.
Right.
And we think that, oh, I have to use my mind to think of something so genius, and I'm blocking the flow of really a God, of Hashem, coming through me. And sometimes, right, like Hasidus, we talk about this idea all the time, that it's through humility that we could access Hashem's light. Like take a seed, right?
Right.
We say you want a tree. The seed goes in the ground, and the seed rots. It loses its identity.
Right.
And through losing its identity, it could be something greater than it ever imagined. And in my personal creative process, if I start writing scripts too much, if I think through it too much, I block the flow of the idea. That's what I find for myself. And I know people that are very organized, and they do great content, scripted. but
Right. So
that's not my
this is your
experience.
creative process.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. It's definitely got to find your creative process and lean into it. That's part of your gift. That's part of your
right.
process. Do you?
And I follow creators who
Right.
they scripted it because every word is great
Right.
and they're awesome. I
Right.
don't want to take that away
Right.
from
Right.
some of them doing a great job.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, how often do you post, and then do you like you'll record something and then just hold on to it and wait for the right time to post? Are you only posting when like the opportunity arises and your soul feels ready and you record and then you have it, and then if you don't, then for 2 weeks, then you don't have
So I
anything?
started doing things a little different now. Originally, I did everything myself. I shot everything I set myself. I didn't schedule anything. It just every day. My goal was a video or 2 videos every day. That was my goal, and a lot of them didn't go anywhere. And then some of them went really big, and and that consistency has built an audience.
Right.
If I'll get 100, 200 followers on an average day, I'll lose 50, 70 followers on an average day.
Oh,
People
really?
fall
People
in.
come in and come
Yeah,
out.
well, the algorithm's very interesting. Like, I'm getting all these messages from people from Iran right now. My inbox is overflowing from Iranian people.
Wow.
Why? I made a little video where I said, we Jewish people need to pray for the people of Iran.
Right.
And I talk about my personal experience the past 3 years. I got so many messages from real people saying, please, we're trapped by our government. We love Israel. I said, that's what I've heard. And now I see them uprising, like,
Right.
this is real.
Right.
This is my experience, and we have to pray for them. And we have to care about all people, blah, blah, blah. I made a little video about it. I couldn't get through my inbox. It went down the Iranian, and they felt heard.
Right.
Like, they felt like, and so they're messaging me. And a lot of these people are following me. They're not Jewish.
Right.
They're not necessarily interested in Judaism.
Right.
So what's going to happen is eventually they're going to be like, we love this guy. He's awesome, but
it's
he's
not for
talking
me.
about black straps
Right.
and
Right.
lifting chickens and whatever mezuzahs on the wall.
Right.
And they're going to slowly unfollow. And
Right.
it's a good idea because it's not good that your followers don't actually engage with your stuff. So it's not good to have, just have followers. You want a community. That's very important.
Right.
I don't even know what you asked me anymore. What did you ask me? Oh, how do I get followers?
No, scripting and releasing and
Oh yeah. So now what I'm
it's
trying.
like it's balancing left brain and right brain, really.
Right. So now what I'm trying. I have a lady that really helps me online. She does a lot of my posting. I don't want to become someone that wastes time on social media.
Right.
So I try to use a third-party app personally. So here's some tips if anyone wants to know what I do, my process. I use, there are a lot of programs. I use something called Metricool, but there are many programs. And basically, we post it there and it goes to 7 different platforms. So one post goes to 7 different platforms.
Right.
So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to like video to everything on the spot, send it to her with a little voice note about like, cut this out, cut that out. And we have a system, a program called Notion, where you could work on a project and move it through different columns, like, idea, working, editing, finish, right, done, post. And once it gets through that process, she'll make a note, I'll see it, I'll come on at the end of the day, change this, change that, and then we put it into our calendar. So right now I'm running 2 different platforms. So I'm running Rabbi Raps, which is geared for like a Chabad house Jewish audience, but I'm also running, which is a whole interesting conversation, Humans for Noah, the number 4.
Right. That was the direction I wanted. Yeah. Tell
I'm
me about it.
teaching the 7 laws of Noah to Sheva mitzvahs, and that's I'm very passionate about that. We could talk about that soon if you have time, if you have interest. But so now I have two platforms as 14. Well, 2 accounts on 14 platforms. So we have a calendar, and sometimes the calendar is filled up to like 3 months in advance.
Wow.
So I'm not necessarily posting anymore where I am today, and it's a little confusing for people. They're like, aren't you right now in Florida? I was like, oh, no, I did that in Florida, but I'm not.
Right.
So I found that to be very helpful. I think it's important to be consistent. My goal is 1 to 3 videos a day. And sometimes I get really busy, and my calendar's not full because I wasn't organized for that span.
Yeah.
It's very stressful being a content creator and being like, oh my gosh, I got to post something. But my goal is to like really beat that.
Right. Okay.
Another great thing for people making content, if you're on Instagram, it's called trial reels.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm doing now is I have an idea, I record it, but in my head, I record it with that's 3 different hooks. So for people that don't follow, if you want to make content, you want people to watch it, you could be brilliant. No one's going to see it if you don't have a good hook. Right. Someone's scrolling, you got 2 seconds to get their attention. You need to say something that could solve their problem or shock them or entertain them, something. You gotta say something like, your Chabad rabbi is trying to get all your money, is what some people say. right.
Right. I've been resisting hooks and these other like gimmicks. I feel it's very gimmicky.
Just give it 2 seconds. You have to give it a little. It's milsa b'dichasa, right?
Right.
It's like
It's the joke at the beginning
joke
of the,
before the rabbis in the Talmud, they would tell a joke, right? Oh, I don't want to say a joke. One second.
This idea of like selling out. I don't know. I'm struggling. Maybe
I hear you.
Maybe it's
so you don't have to
my
say something.
imposter syndrome that I'm this big artist. You know.
So you could start by saying, I feel it's wrong to start videos with a hook. That's a hook.
That's a hook.
Okay. It doesn't have to be a gimmick. It could be something real.
Right.
Like I was making a video about the Iranian people following me and thanking me.
Right.
And I said, I forget the term. I said something like, I lost control of my inbox, and it's because of the Iranian people.
Right.
Right? Like what? Who? What? You're a rabbi, Iranian. You're blaming them. They're the. Let me watch this. Okay, and then I told
the story.
Right, and then I leaned into another idea, which is, everyone cares about human rights if they think they could blame it on a Jew, but they don't really care about human rights because Iranian people are being butchered and slaughtered, and no one really cares, right? So, but that's a hook. It doesn't have to be a gimmick, but it needs to capture people's attention. But anyway, circle back. So an interesting thing that I'm experimenting with is I have my video, and I'll record then 3 different hooks. And I'll send it to my editor. Now, if you don't have an editor, you could do this yourself. I just don't.
Do you record the whole content 3 times?
No.
Or you'll record a hook that leans right into it. So you'll record 3 hooks.
Exactly.
So that you can cut and paste.
I'm working on something. The month of Shvat is when Moshe, the Hebrew month of Shvat is when Moshe wrote the Torah in 70 languages.
Right.
So I just have this idea I'm playing with right now. I didn't do it yet, so you're seeing behind the scenes. My idea was to do something like this. See if it works. I don't know. How do you say Torah in Chinese? Cut. How do you say Torah in Japanese? If I don't know. If you know, please put it in the comment. And then transition into I'm going to only record the next part once, where I'm going to talk about this idea that the Torah was translated into 70 nations. Then I was thinking, like, what happens if I do that 100 different languages and then put them all out on trial reels?
Right.
It doesn't, and my followers will not see it, so it won't annoy them. And then it could be my Korean base.
Right.
It goes viral, and it does now. Again, do I want Korean people that aren't interested in Judaism to be? But it could be Spanish. There's a lot of people that are Spanish and fascinated by Torah and Judaism. Tremendous amount.
So the 7 mitzvahs, the 7 Noahide laws are very relevant to them.
So that'll work for them. So that's something and then you watch the trial reels. Wait 2 days. Watch the trial reels. And it's funny, I did this sometimes. One video got 1,000 views and one video got 1,000,000 views. And it was the same video, different hook. So we have some great, if you keep your eye on the algorithm, there's like great opportunities to share your orange socks, or in my case, Yiddishkeit, Judaism, with so many people.
Right.
Social media is a game changer for any rabbi, for any shliach, any business owner.
Right.
And it seems overwhelming, but everyone's got a shot now.
Yeah. No. Well, my 2 boys just started a company, and so now they're getting into social media to get it out there. It's strings attached, which is a great. What do you? Tzitzis. Okay. Exactly. One of them, my Mendel went to Cusco, Peru, on American Shlachas, on rabbi training or whatever it is there to go help out the community there. They had like 4,000 people at a Seder and so on, but like they have these ponchos, the locals, and you forgot to bring a coat. You don't realize it'd be freezing up in the mountains. And so he bought a poncho, and he put it on and he realized, wait a second, it's got 4 corners and there's no tzitzis. He took it off, but he brought it home and then tied tzitzis on it and was running around the house and whatever. And everyone's like, oh, that's so cool. It's so cool. I want one. Like the few people that
Are
saw.
they very colorful?
They're colorful. Yeah.
Oh, I got one. I was in Crown Heights. I was maybe in the chocolate shop or somewhere, and they had these really cool looking poncho tzitzis, really like intricate, cool.
Yeah, that's just so. Yeah, they're out there, but they're learning social media, and now they're giving me tips. that was my point of all that, is that they're telling me, no, Ty, you got to do it like this. Ty, you got to do it like that. And yes, I'm learning from them.
Right.
It's a balance, though. It's also leaning into it, because I gotta tell myself this is part of the creativity. This is not a job to do after the creativity.
Right.
It's not the same as the
Well,
accounting.
you're an artist, so I don't know. I think there's so many great things an artist to do. Your process is more interesting than your final product.
Yes. Yeah.
So, like, I'm painting this painting, and I'm struggling with, should I do it like this? Should I do that? What do you guys think? That's content.
Right.
What an honor to be behind the scenes with the artist, and even be able to give the artist your thought.
Right.
It takes time, and you probably need some help, because you're a busy person, and every business person, every shliach probably shouldn't be doing this themselves.
Right.
There are programs that could keep us off social media.
Right.
By the way, engaging your followers is very important, but it's not important for growth. It's important for sales, but not for growth.
Right.
So, like, these are things you want to weigh. People are going to write to you. Can you write? You might not be able to write back to them.
Right.
But to show people your process, and show them how you're doing what you're doing. That's fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah. So your community members, if they want to get, they want to reach out to you, they do it on social media, or they do it directly. I mean, how do they handle your
hopefully
content?
they have my cell phone number, because my inbox is very hard to manage. Sometimes I'm weeks behind, but I actually do answer every single one.
Right.
It's time consuming, and I don't know if I will always be able to do it. But right now, more or less, I answer. And if they need me, they better text me, not do it online.
Super cool.
Yeah, and for me as a shliach, I found that creating social media has really strengthened my relationship with my community in such an amazing way. Like, you have those people, you want to connect with them. They want to connect with you. Life's busy. You're busy. They're busy. And it's like ends up being that Yom Kippur Jew, or that Pesach, here's a matzah Jew, right? And even though there's a lot of people, that's the reality, how often could you connect with them? I'll come into the person's house and they'll be like, oh, Rabbi, we saw that video where you asked about, is the Tesla okay on Shabbos? And we were all debating it around the Thanksgiving, and this one said this and this one said that, and that, right? And I realized something, like, wow, like I am, by creating content, and not only like Dvar Torahs, that's the worst kind of content you can make, although it's important. We need to show Yiddishkeit, right? By creating content, I'm inviting my community,
a conversation prompt,
into my world,
right?
And they're with me every day as we're baking challah for Shabbos, as we're putting up mezuzahs, as we're dealing with a leak in the shul. Everything is content, right? So I include, there's the local community, like that's the people my first responsibility to. There's a big community I'm developing online, but they're part of it. And I realize that, and I encourage shluchim all the time, like, you have social media and you want to put your Dvar Torahs, and you're wondering why 3 people are watching.
Right.
They're not on there for Dvar Torahs. And Dvar Torahs, while they're very important, practically are not going to go very far.
Right.
But if you show them how you're setting up the candles, because this is a tradition that a Jewish man sets up the candles and prepares it for his wife to bring in the Holy Shabbos, and then you show your kid if you want to put your kid on, that's a whole different discussion, setting up the Shabbos table, and then you look at the menu of we're being served for Shabbos, you're inviting people into your Shabbos, into your home. And that's something that talks to people.
Right.
And it's, of course we need Divrei Torah online. Absolutely.
Right.
But
there's a place for that.
Yeah. But show them your world, your Yiddishkeit, what's on the menu. You're buying tefillin for someone. You go to the Sefer all the time.
Right.
Bring people with you and
right.
let them experience it. Let them see it. Let them bring them into a world they may not even know exists.
Right. All right. I like it. I'm sold. Let me try.
You're
I'm
doing
working.
great, by the way. I love your social media content.
Thank you. Thank you.
You
I'm
know,
trying. I'm pushing myself to do one post a day.
right.
That's my push. And I don't have anything saved in the bank. So, what am I going to put out today?
Yeah,
so
it's
I
a
have to,
pressure.
I have to get beyond that.
If we could find time, and I'm having a hard time with it, but sometimes I can. If we could find time to just a bunch of ideas on a spreadsheet, at least we throw them down and actually just record them, short little videos one by
Right.
one, and then you batch create.
Right.
The best content for me is out in the street, but
Right.
sometimes I don't
Right.
have the headspace. And you know what's the best content I sometimes can't capture?
Right.
Why? Because I broke down and I'm late somewhere and there's a flat and the guy from, I don't know, Chaverim came. Like,
Right.
that's awesome stuff, you know? Like,
Right.
but I was really stressed and I couldn't capture it.
You captured some of
I
it.
did sometimes.
I saw some of it.
Yeah, I did that. But
Right.
you know, there's a lot of stuff that I think back.
So the real
I was like,
time-
oh, that was real great. That's a great, right. That one I actually caught. But there's times that I can't,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Right. And some of the best stuff is like
Life.
in life. And we're just too stressed to find the light in the darkness.
Yeah, no, to realize that, that again, having a hard time articulating, but that's what mitzvahs are. That's what life is. It's the small things that matter. It's not the big things, not the scripted things. It's not with the lights and the cameras. It's the small things of life, and then finding ways to bring other people in to share that with others.
Right.
All right, Rabbi, thank you.
Thank you.
We end with 2 scripted questions.
Okay. Oh.
Let me bring up my my scripted questions. Number 1, what's your advice? No, that's number 2. Scripted question number 1 is who are 3 Jewish creatives that you think the audience should know about?
Ooh. Okay.
Or content creators. Let's go with that. Who are 3 Jewish content creators you think that the audience should know
Well,
that they perhaps may not know yet?
well, the first one is Yitzchok Moully, the pop art rabbi who inspires me. I love your energy. I really do. I love the art, your energy, and what you're doing. You're bringing color. Like really what the Lubavitcher Rebbe did, bringing color to Yiddishkeit. So I would say the Lubavitcher Rebbe is definitely one of the most creative creatives and that's for real. I know you think of the Rebbe as a white beard and black hat and black coat, but really has brought so much expression, and the Rebbe celebrated your unique talents. Encourage people. You sing, use it for God. You play music, use it for God. You paint, use it for God. You speak, use it for God. Use everything for God, but be the most creative you can be. So I would say the Rebbe is the next one. And then, what, you need a third one?
No,
too?
I don't think you can top that. I think, yeah, I think that's,
Right.
yeah.
Make sure to follow Rabbi Raps on all social media
all the platforms, all 7 platforms. All right, so
had
for our
another
last scripted
question?
question,
Yeah.
yes. What's your advice for young creatives for them to find their orange socks?
Right. I think I touched upon it before, and that was really where those 3 ideas converge: your experiences, your talents, and where you find yourself. I think focus on that, but that's not enough. I think start, and you touched upon that too. Start. The person that made videos when I first started, I look at those videos and I'm like, that's not. I didn't find my voice yet.
Right.
I was still in the box, still trying to follow a script, still trying to be accepted. It takes time, but start creating. If you're a social media, you want to be a social media person, just start. And keep going, and you will emerge from it. Your true beautiful neshama will emerge. But it can't emerge if you wait to be perfect and practice in front of the mirror.
Right.
You have to practice in real content. You have to feel the response, and it's so good because it's so real.
Yeah.
If you get nothing, you know that you didn't do anything.
Right.
And if you get some, you know you're speaking to some people. You'll find out who your audience is, and along the way, you'll find out who you are, and you'll find out how amazing you are, and how your light is really, the world is missing it and needs it.
Amen. Amen. Rabbi Raps, thank you.
היום נעשה משהו בלתי נשכח